Hey guys, I have new hair. I think it's cool. I don't know. I don't know how to start off my YouTube videos, as you can tell. But it's okay. Today we're talking about Hollow Knight Silksong. Hollow Knight Silksong is so special to me because I'm very excited for it. But I just wanted to show you guys this little pottery knight I made a long time ago. Not a long time ago, like a couple months ago. And they're just so cute. They are just so cute. That's all. End of the YouTube video. I wanted to talk about this because, I don't know, I wanted to. For those of you who don't know what Hollow Knight is a fantastic indie Metroidvania game that was released in 2017, I think. So, Hollow Knight was made and developed by a developer named Team Cherry. And it consists of three main devs, Ari Gibson, William Pillin, and Jack Vine. They're just awesome, okay? They made, like, the most awesome game ever. I know, amazing commentary, but, like, you gotta believe me, okay? Hollow Knight has a special place in my heart, as it was the first game I ever really played. I mean, I played, like, The Sims. I played, like, Mario Kart as a kid. And my brother got a new Xbox One, and I just felt bored one day, and I was like, hey, let's check out Game Pass. And Hollow Knight was on there, I was like, that looks cool. And then I played it. It changed my life for real. It's what got me into gaming, and I'm forever grateful for Team Cherry to make such a beautiful and inspirational game that just changed my life, and probably others, but Hollow Knight has 47 unique bosses, 15 areas to explore, secret and hidden lore, and it's just awesome, okay? Just believe me, okay? I literally have 93 hours in the game, and I still haven't beaten the real final boss because she's a bitch, and I have a skill issue. So 93 hours into the game, guess how much money it is? Guess how much money it is. 15 areas, 47 bosses, and free DLC content? Guess how much? You'll probably say like $30. $15. $15. Oh my lord. Team Cherry was too kind. $15 for that? Crazy. Anyways, as much as I want to talk about Hollow Knight, like, forever, that's not the subject of this video. The subject of this video is the upcoming sequel of Hollow Knight called Hollow Knight Silksong. And my god, this game has a chokehold on everyone. I swear to god. Everyone, okay? Hollow Knight Silksong follows a strong protagonist named Hornet, which we met and fought in Hollow Knight when we played as the knight. Even though we fight her, she eventually helps us, which is so slay of her. Hornet's just awesome. And so we are playing as Hornet in Silksong in a new kingdom called Farloom. The previous kingdom in Hollow Knight was called Hollowness, so we're in a new kingdom now. Technically, we don't know if it's a sequel or a prequel, but, like, chronologically, it is after Hollow Knight, so we're just calling it a sequel for now. Hollow Knight Silksong was released in 2019 along with an E3 demo, and that demo was about 30 minutes long, I believe, maybe 15. I'm not sure about the details, but it was released in E3 2019, and they were like, it's coming soon, guys! You guys are pumped? So yeah, it's 2023, it's not out yet, and I don't know why they said it was coming soon then, but, you know, whatever. There are two reasons why Silksong has not come out yet, in my opinion. I mean, one is basically confirmed, one is kind of speculation. I might be wrong, you know. I'm just a guy recording in their room, so. The first reason is COVID. So they announced in 2019, the pandemic hit in 2020, like, it was kind of in 2019, but really hit in 2020, so COVID impacted game development. And to AAA studios, COVID was probably like a drop in the bucket, maybe a slight setback. But for an indie game developer with like only 3 people, it was probably like a fucking kick in the stomach for them. editor's note, Matthew Griffin said that COVID definitely affected them, but not as bad because Team Cherry was basically pretty much all remote because of the distance in Australia, etc. It's Geoff Keighley? It could just be Jeff. Jeff Keighley? I don't know. Well, he talked to Team Cherry in an interview with GameSpot. They said, like, the pandemic most likely caused some delays. So my reason number 2, that's kind of my speculation, needs a bit of backstory. Okay, so be patient with me, okay? Okay. So Hollow Knight was made originally with Kickstarter funds and Team Cherry's own funds, and they have described the development to be really rough, as the funds were not substantial. I think they described having to, like, eat sandwiches that someone close, like, made for them. It was either a roommate or a neighbor. I forget. I cannot find the source for my fucking life. So I heard it. I heard it somewhere. I don't know how true it is, so take that with a grain of salt. It was just hard because they were just like these 3 developers that were like, let's make a game. The Hollow Knight game originally started as a, like, 24 or was it 42 hour a challenge that game, like, developers do to, like, make a game within a certain amount of time, and the original game was called Hungry Knight, where this little guy that looked exactly like the knight, basically, was fighting starvation by killing off bugs and etc. So it started off as that, and they're like, let's build upon this. So they did, and it took them, I think, 4 years. Maybe 5. They started it in 2013 and it released in 2017. So with a tight budget like that, Team Cherry was pretty limited on what they could do. Even though they were limited, they still made an amazing game. They stated that they had to cut some content because of time and resources. But Hollow Knight sold 3 million copies and more. So they have the funds now, okay? So this is where it all ties back together. The reason why I think Silksong is taking a bit longer is because they have the resources now. They can basically do whatever they want, as, like, the only restraint is time, which they are not taking as a restraint. They're taking their time, which is fine, which is good. Good. It's good. Hollow Knight Silksong originally was just going to be another DLC for original game Hollow Knight, and it was going to be called the Hornet DLC. Now, then in 2019, they said that, like, hey, we're making this DLC into a game now. Basically, they were like, they kept adding more and more and more and more, and they're like, let's just make this a game. How about that? So that's what they did. They started making it as a game instead of a DLC. So I think that's also what is making it take so long. They have the resources now. They can do whatever they want, and they can add as much as they want. They don't have to cut content or anything, and they just can let whatever they want happen. So I think that is another main reason, which is not even a bad reason. Like, they're just letting go. They're just doing what they want to do, you know? I need to breathe. Okay. So now that they don't have any limitations, in Hollow Knight, there was a cut area that was like a lava-like area, but they had to cut it because of resources and time. So, but in Hollow Knight, Silksong, in the trailers, we see a lava, fiery landscape, and we see Hornet jumping from platform to platform. And isn't that cool? They, like, rebranded, they, like, put things that they couldn't do in the past, and they're putting all their creative juices into this, and it's awesome, okay? It's awesome. As you can see, they're really just doing what they couldn't do in the past. I mean, that's not just what Silksong is, obviously, but it is a main part, and it's just like, it's just awesome. It's just awesome. It's just cool, okay? It's cool. Getting a little bit back on topic, from the announcement of Silksong being a game to now, we've had very little news. We had a little bit of an Edge magazine, we had some trailers here and there, but they were kind of all the trailers were kind of the same, sometimes with like a few new clips that like were 5 seconds, but hey, it's news. So basically the entire fandom would just wait at every Nintendo Direct, every like live game show of the next games of the summer or next games of the year, etc. They just like wait at their computers and just spam Silksong in the live chat and wait for Silksong to come. Every time it didn't, everyone would just snort copium and just be okay. Or try to be okay. And the scraps that we were fed, everyone just fucking tear them apart. Tear them apart, and when you're, like, starving all your life, when you get scraps, you're like, this is the most delicious meal ever. So, that's basically what's been happening. And then, finally, July, or was it June? It could be June or July. June or July of 2022, okay, Xbox made an announcement, okay. They announced the games that are coming to their Game Pass within the next year. And guess what was on the list? Silksong. Oh my lord! We were all hype. We were so hyped. But then there were some of us that doubted this because we never got a full, like, yes, this is so true by Team Cherry. I think Xbox, like, replied to someone and was like, yes, you heard me, Silksong is real. And we're waiting this year, okay? We're waiting this year. We're like, everyone's going crazy. And the only news that we get from July to May is in September, there was this confirmation that it was coming to PlayStation. So, that's really it. And then bad news runs along, okay? In May, Team Cherry did a tweet, and this is what it said. It says, "Hey gang, just a quick update about Silksong. We had planned to release in the first half of 2023, but the development is still continuing. We're excited by how the game is shaping up, and it's gotten quite big, so we want to take the time to make the game as good as we can. Expect more details from us once we get closer to release." When I first read this, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I was pretty upset. I'm not going to pretend that I was like, this didn't bother me at all. No, I was pretty upset.
Sorry to interrupt, but this is the next day, and I just want to let you know that my phone died halfway through the recording, and I'm using my phone as a camera because cameras are expensive and I'm broke as shit. So, sorry about that. I mean, what I'm going to do is just going to try to entertain you guys in between pictures and explanations with, like, art speed paint of, like, Hornet and the Knight. And I hope that's enough for you guys because I know you guys need some constant stimulation. /J. But anyways. So, yeah. Bye. You're going to see past me and you're going to say goodbye to this me. So, bye-bye.
And, you know, after a few hours, I went through the stages of grief. I accepted it. I coped, you know. And I was good. I never, ever sent any hate speech to Team Cherry. I was kind of just like, man, I'm disappointed. Like, I just was typing away. Anyways, so I was disappointed. I was fine after a few hours. Whatever. Now, it was kind of crazy. The rest of the fandom was kind of a little crazy. In the Hollow Knight Discord server I'm in, there's a Silksong discussion channel where we talk about Silksong, but most of the time we don't talk about Silksong because there's nothing to talk about Silksong, so we kind of just talk about random stuff. But, you know, once Silksong is in topic, it's like, you know. So, when that announcement came up, Silksong discussion went nuts, okay? It was crazy. We had people saying, fuck the devs, fuck them. People were like, we were all kind of collectively sobbing together, like, at the end of summer camp. It was a shit show, okay? So that's what happened. Everyone eventually kind of toned down, and that's all she wrote. That's like the most we got. Nothing since May. My guess is maybe at the end of 2023, we might get Silksong. If not, 2024 is okay. When this happened, I was mostly glad that Team Cherry did something, said something, gave us a little bit of an update. It was nice. I'm glad there was news, even though it was not good news. So, and also, it wasn't inherently bad. They're saying the game is looking good. They're saying the game is big. So, it is good news. It's good that it's delayed because they're working hard on it. So, that's my opinion. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is because I wanted to discuss the morality of all this, because I've never really seen anyone on YouTube, at least people I know, like, talk about it, you know? Half the fandom is like, Team Cherry, please, update us every week, please update us more, and just sad and upset with the devs and etc. And one half is like, everybody chill. Everybody chill. Everybody chill. It's okay. It's okay. And there's like a minuscule part that's like, I don't care. I don't care when the game comes. It's gonna come. Whatever. And I wanted to interview a couple of people to know what their takes were. So I interviewed one of my friends. And I interviewed 2 people from the fandom just random people from the Discord server. And we'll see what they think, because I don't like giving my opinion first. So, let's get into that. This is not like an audio-visual interview. It's just like they texted me their answers, and then I'm just gonna put the screenshots on the screen, do a little voice acting. No, I'm not gonna voice act, but I'm just gonna read what they say.
I'd also like to add that the order of the answers for each question will be from Discord user Dreamhater to Discord user Ghostly Gelato, and then my friend's answer. So I'm just going to put all 3 of the answers into each like part, but that's the order if you want to know who says what. On a scale of 1 through 10, how excited are you for Silksong?
I'm a 10 out of 10 excited for Silksong, as Hollow Knight was my favorite game of all time. I am sure that Silksong will be above that and better. I agree. Currently, I would say around a 7, 8. Of course, it's fluctuated over the years and with announcements. Personally, Silksong has always been on a background thing in my mind for 5 years now. This is a fairly common occurrence in the community, but oftentimes I would have dreams of the game releasing, release dates getting announced, trailers dropping. I've had like 5 of these dreams. Hollow Knight honestly had a huge impact on me and turned me into an artist, which led me to where I am today. So just looking at the glimpse that we have of Silksong, I can feel the impact it's going to have on me. I would say 10 out of 10, but it's more like an 8 out of 10. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Do you have any worries about the game or about the game development?
I'm worried by how complicated, balanced will the crest be? And would Team Cherry allow us to play in any style? Since in Hollow Knight, my main complaint was that the charms were not balanced and it was tough playing in your own style and getting discouraged by it. Basically, the crests are similar to a game mechanic in Hollow Knight called charms. The charms in Hollow Knight were basically these like little things that you would equip that each had their own ability to it, and you had a certain amount of space. Some of the charms would take up more space and some would take up less space. The only problem with that is it's hard. The compatibility with these charms was hard. It was hard to make a build that was like unique to yourself, or I get that complaint a lot. So, or I get that complaint, like I understand. The crests, they seem a shit ton more complex, like from what we've seen. The space that we have, we can choose different things, and we don't know much about it, but I get this person's worry that it might not work out because it looks crazy. I am worried that it won't live up to my expectations. What I want is another masterpiece, but I know masterpieces are hard to make, and they don't come around that often. However, I trust Team Cherry. It's the same thing with Spider-Verse. I was suspecting this new movie to be not as good as the first, but when it came out, it blew me away. Of course, the conditions behind that movie are unsettling, so I hope Team Cherry aren't putting themselves through that kind of environment and are taking as much time as they need. Not particularly. They have obviously taken their time with this game, and it will definitely be even more refined experience compared to God Home. God Home is part of the Hollow Knight DLC. I think it was the last one that was made, so that's just for context.
When it comes to how Team Cherry is marketing the game, are you glad they are keeping it to a minimum?
I think that it's fine if Team Cherry doesn't want to market, but at the same time, if they did market, I think that the state of the fandom wouldn't be like this. Plus, if Team Cherry did market, more people would be excited for Silksong. Yes, I am very glad. There are lots of fans that are upset that they aren't, but I think that is bullshit. They are used to the steady stream of news that a lot of current developers give them, and they can't stand to be disconnected from that feeding tube. They don't have trust in the developers. I bet that Team Cherry are working their asses off with this game. They don't need to force themselves to make blog posts just to satisfy the hungry fans. Plus, it makes it so that when news does come, it's all the more special. I think the minimalist approach works fine, as it doesn't spoil too much and keeps the game from feeling overhyped to the point of disappointment. I also agree. I feel like if they overhyped it too much, released so much, then expectations would be high as shit and the hype would be crazy. So I don't want a Cyberpunk situation where they release the game and everyone's just disappointed to hell. So
how fair is it for the fans of Silksong to be upset over the devs not having a steady stream of news?
The fans should understand Team Cherry's situation and realize that they should wait. I feel like other fans forget about other games existing and only focus on Silksong, which is a bad mindset. This is a big question. If you asked any other member of the community, you would get a 100% different answer. Personally, I think it's extremely unfair. They know already that Team Cherry are working to make this game, and they have been for 5 years. They don't need news spoiling the game for them. I've seen members say that, please, I just want Team Cherry to send a Twitter message saying they're okay, or something semi-regularly. And I know they're half joking, but it bothers me, because you focus so much of your life around this game that you need to know if the developers are just alive every 2 weeks or so. It's like a state of paranoia that something terrible will happen to the beloved Silksong. There are also people who are maddened that Team Cherry, aren't giving them any news, which is just beyond ridiculous. It's fair to be upset over the lack of content, but this is literally just how Team Cherry seems to do this sort of thing. If someone doesn't like it, cope, I guess.
When Team Cherry announced the delay and how they won't make it to Xbox's date, how did you feel, and what was your reaction?
I felt happy, knowing that they are taking their sweet time and not rushing for the fans, perfecting the game and making sure it's baked and cooked. Take FNAF Security Breach, for example. Because it was rushed, there were so many bugs in it, but the DLC took its time and it became good. I agree with this person wholeheartedly. Security Breach was so rushed, it was crazy. The bugs were crazy, and I died inside watching Markiplier lose hours of progress because of a bug. Oh my god, I couldn't. I never played Security Breach myself, I just watched people play it, but I know the bugs were really bad, so I don't want that to be Silksong. I was not surprised, though I admit I was disappointed. Not to the huge degree that some fans are. I had been keeping track of the days down to the deadline, even though I kind of suspected it would get pushed. I am still predicting that it will come out later this year. Definitely a little sad, but personally I think if the game needed a delay it always. Assuming the devs are actually put in work. Cough cough, Yandere Sim.
For a bit of context, Yandere Dev is the creator of Yandere Simulator that was very popular a few years back, and when he released the game it was not finished, and for a good 8 years he didn't really finish it until finally it was quote-unquote finished in 2022. So my friend's saying always delay the game as long as you're working on it, and we know that Team Cherry is working on this game very hard, so we don't have to worry. If you could ask one question or say one thing to Team Cherry, what would it be?
I would ask them, how long would Silksong be? I want to know this as well. I want to know how many hours. I want to know so bad. I want to know how big the game is. this is probably a question I'd ask as well. Are you proud of what you made? Do you feel satisfied with Hollow Knight plus Silksong? Or do you feel like you aren't satisfied and feel like you can do better? How are you so based? Joking. What was the most fun area to make in Hollow Knight?
Anything else you'd like to add, or any opinions you want the people that see this to know?
I want people to know that Silksong is taking its time. Just like how immersive and atmospheric Hollow Knight is, Silksong will surpass that. We just need to wait a bit more. Maybe a few weeks, months, and maybe a few years. And then, once we get our hands on Silksong, play the whole game, be immersed in it, discover new NPCs, and finish the game, we can all then gladly say that the wait was worth it. If you're looking for a game to play to quench the thirst while waiting for Silksong, play Hyper Light Drifter. True that. Hyper Light Drifter is an amazing game, and I also recommend it if you are waiting for Silksong because it's just awesome. So, Marmu best character because I'm biased. Real. Alright, and those are the people I've interviewed. So now it's time for my opinion. I definitely and basically agree with everyone here. I mean, there are definitely people that are like, it's fair to be upset, and then some people are like, cope. You know? I'm like in the middle. I'm in the middle. I'm the middleman. I am not a centrist. No, I'm in the middle. You know, it's human. It's human to be upset. It's human to be upset about a game that you're so excited for, and then bad news breaks out and you're just upset. That is fair. Everyone's a little upset over it. But if you're upset over like months of no news and you're like being a little dickhead about it, so. And also, don't bully Team Cherry. Don't tweet about anything. Don't like add Team Cherry being like, where's Silksong? Chill. Distract yourself. Watch YouTube. Make YouTube videos if you want. Play games if you want. Invest in your hobby. Do whatever you want to do, okay? You don't have to be obsessing so hard. But I get obsessing. I get it. You love this game. You want this game so bad. But breathe. Now, the thing that I'm most excited for Silksong is the fact that Hornet is just overall more agile and like speedy, etc. And watching the trailers and seeing her jump from platform to platform using new like mechanics to get around, I'm so excited to just jump around and dart around Farloom and have a great time. Also, I'm excited about the new enemies and the like overall new areas. They seem very cool. So, and I'm also very excited about like the story. Like, I am so excited about the story. I'm so excited. I'm so glad that we get to play as Hornet because like Hornet's just cool and like it's just awesome. I'm excited for this.
Alright, so as I'm editing this video, I watched a Twitch stream from Blue SR, who is a Hollow Knight speedrunner that had the amazing opportunity to interview Matthew Griffin, aka Leth, who is the marketing person for Hollow Knight and Silksong. So, we talked about Silksong, we talked about Hollow Knight, we talked about Crossworm because Matthew Griffin is on that team. So, when it comes to Silksong news, we didn't get much. I mean, we got more than we thought. Like when we first were going into this interview, basically, Leth was just talking about how the delay worked, how basically they were just having the conversation with Team Cherry, and it kind of just popped up being like, I don't think we can make this, so let's make the tweet. And we also got confirmation that Microsoft had actually reached out to Team Cherry and was like, hey, is your game gonna be done within the next 12 months? And, at the time they're like, yeah, sure. But they never confirmed it because, they wanted some flexibility. They still had to say that it was delayed, but, if they had confirmed it, it probably would have hurt more. So Leth had also mentioned something that chat probably took way too seriously, which was saying if he were to look through it, if he wanted to make things make sense, he'd say that the next news would be straight from Team Cherry. And so everyone's like, oh my gosh, confirmed blog post, confirmed tweet. even I was like, oh, does this mean that news doesn't come from Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo? That the next news will be just from straight Team Cherry? But I asked in chat, and Blue was like, I don't think it's straight up that, you know? And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then another Twitch chatter said, my guess is he meant don't expect it from other sources, not it's never coming anywhere else. Which makes sense, you know? So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Don't go haywild, you know. I highly suggest looking over like Blue's interview, and because he's gonna make a YouTube video edit, and also just follow him on Twitch because he makes really cool Hollow Knight speedruns, and he's just awesome. So also follow Matthew Griffin on Twitter because and Team Cherry, because that's probably where you're gonna get the most, you know, head straight news. So yeah, I just wanted to include that little interview news into this because, you know, it's relevant. Sorry this is kind of like put together last second. You know, I was in the middle of editing when I watched this interview, so you know. So back to the video, I guess. Remember, be patient with Team Cherry. I mean, Leth explained that they're working hard as shit on this, like they are working hard, but they're also taking time to, you know, relax, because that is very important. Because with Hollow Knight, it was way more stressful, because it was like, and if you be a dick about it, then maybe just stop, okay? Maybe, just maybe.
Now, a lot of the community, the line between joking about like Silksong isn't real, etc., and like actually semi being hateful, the line is so blurred that I can't define it. Like, it's rough. Even I joke sometimes, being like, is Silksong real? But you know, some people are just passive aggressive about it. So I don't know how well the editing is going to be, but I'm going to put in a speed paint of an artwork I did of Hornet, because why not? I mean, I want this channel to be semi-art, so why not keep it there to keep you guys entertained? So that's what I'm going to do. So, hope you guys like the speed paint. If you like my art, you can go to my Instagram, which I'll link into the description, and also my Tumblr. So, yeah. And like and subscribe if you like this. I'm hoping I can post more. I want to not become a YouTube creator. Like, I don't want to be a famous YouTuber, but, you know, I like making YouTube videos, and I hope that people like them, because, you know, it's fun. It's fun. And also, I want to know you guys' like opinions on this, on like Team Cherry, the opinions on, like, answer the questions that I put in the interviews. Answer them yourselves if you like. You know, do whatever you want. Comment down below. I like it when you guys comment. So, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. You guys are awesome, even though there's not really a guys here. I have like 200 subscribers, but it's because I was TikTok famous for like a year, and then people followed my YouTube, and that's what happened. But, you know, that was like in 2020, so 2019. So basically my subscriber base is kind of there, but not really. So I don't even know how this is gonna reach you guys, but I'm guessing it's from people searching up Silksong to see what the new videos about it are. So hopefully this reaches people.
And on that note, I'd like to thank everyone for if you have stayed to the end, because you guys are awesome. And I'm sorry for all the technical difficulties. I went through hell trying to make this YouTube video. Like, so much shit went wrong, and I'm very sorry for, like, if my editing is shit. You know, I'm doing this on a completely weird program, and I had to pay to, like, render this video because I did not want to have to redo everything, and it was just a mess. It was a mess. So I'm sorry for all the technical difficulties. I'm sorry that the audio is, like, shit in between. I don't know what happened, but again, thank you for sticking around if you got to this part, and I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video. Whatever I do, I don't know. So, bye!